Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Coming to the end of the beers that I got in the Mikkeller beer mail for August 2017. If you've been interested by any of the beers that I've covered, I'm going to put my referral link, as I have been doing, in the description box so you can get yourselves 25% off your own order. Been really quite impressed actually with the beers that I've had. Only thing I would have said is it would have been nice to have maybe a couple of dark beers thrown in, but August, it's really hot. Of course, you're going to get lighter beers like sours, pilsners, pale ales, IPAs. But yeah, what I had was absolutely fantastic. And we're going to be ending on a beer that I was going to keep hold of for a little bit, but I might be moving soon and I'm impatient. And I didn't want the beer to get destroyed in transit. And again, I'm impatient, so I thought I'd pop it open. And yeah, today we are looking at the Winale, or the 12-inch Winale, and this is the B-sides version, which is pretty much a sour Belgian style beer that has grape juice and lactose brewed in it. I think the B-sides has the addition of lactose and a regular 12-inch Win Ale doesn't. I did do a little bit of research, but I've completely forgotten it. I probably should have done it because this is take two of the video. Beer's already in the glass. Perfect opportunity to actually read up on it. But I'm such a professional that I just didn't do it. So apologies about that. And I hope I don't misrepresent this beer. But as we always do, I'm going to put more reference material down below so you can find out a little bit more about the beer specifically. But yeah, fantastic looking artwork, of course, like a 12-inch record, and then lovely typography in the middle. Comes in a 375 milliliter bottle, and I think this is that 8%. It's really quite hard to read the typography here. 8.1% as I just blind everyone. But yeah, very pretty green bottle. And there is the Crown, which has a best before date of the 11th of the 1st, 2022. So it's definitely a beer that you can keep hold of, put in the back of the cupboard, and forget about. But yeah, I just thought I'd tuck into this one. So I'm expecting to have a nice, funky, sour, fruity sort of beer. I haven't tasted it yet, thank God. Um, Ran out of memory on my phone again. I should really actually prepare when I do these beer reviews, but it's sod's law, isn't it? That I'm just terrible with stuff like this, and it clearly shows in my beer reviews. But yeah, beer in a glass, and that is a lovely sort of golden colour. Has a slight lemon curd look to it. Nice, very faintly cloudy. You can't really see the cloudiness there, but when you hold it up to the light, lovely and pale. Nice cascading carbonation. There seems to be maybe just a few little bits and bobs, but there is like very slight pockets of sedimentation floating around. But yeah, carbonation is really nice and gentle. Beer poured with about one finger's worth of a nice foamy, frothy looking head that seems to be holding its own really, really nicely. And is that a little bit in the top of that? Yeah, I think there was a little bit of something then on the top of my beer. But yeah, certainly looks very nice. That sort of Belgian blonde ale look to it. On the aroma, you instantly get that grape aroma coming out. Definitely has that like champagne aroma to it. Very subtle American hop character. But I'm not sure if they've actually used like American hops in this. But yeah, very vinous. But not too overwhelming. I mean, the more you smell it, the more you pick it up. But it's got just this lovely, gentle, grapey, fruity aroma coming out of it. Lovely hit of yeast in there. It's bready as well, as you'd expect. But yeah, that is definitely an intriguing beer indeed. And yeah, I apologise beforehand if I just botch my review of this beer, because beers like this really do take me out of my comfort zone. So it should be an intriguing experience nonetheless. Nonetheless, I've not even had a beer today. This is the first beer of the night, and I'm already slurring my words. Anyway, let's find out what it tastes like. Cheers. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. It's just grape juice. And you get that champagne, sparkling white wine flavour coming through on the back end. It's not as funky, not as tart, not as sour as I was expecting it to be. That lactose gives it a very faint yogurt sort of flavour in there. Like a peach yogurt almost. I'm not the biggest fan of stuff like champagne and wine, because whenever I drink that, bad things happen. Whether it's waking up naked on the stairs of a nightclub, or at New Year's Eve falling into a neighbour's garden with one shoe, almost crying. I'm terrible when it comes to stuff like wine and champagne and sparkling white wine. It cuts right through me like a knife. It really, really does. But you definitely get that winey flavour coming through. Lovely spicy pepperiness now as I'm talking on the back end. That wine aspect has a slight burn on the throat, but aside from that, there's really no traces of that alcohol. Yeah, it's really nice and pleasant. There's like very slight lemonade flavour in there as well. It's so well balanced. And I'd say the stronger flavours come on the back end when you've finished taking a sip. It's an acquired taste for sure. If you like your wines and champagnes, that sort of thing, you're going to absolutely love this beer. If you're not a fan of that sort of stuff, then you might want to steer away from it. I'm actually kicking myself that I didn't just forget about this beer for a couple of years, because it would have been amazing to see what flavours would come into play, what aspects would die down and smooth out and that sort of stuff. But as it is now, that's lovely. You get very slight dark berry sort of flavours in there as well. Maybe a hint of cranberry also. I said on the aroma, you get those slight American like hops. You're not getting that at all on the flavour. And I think if this was a hoppier beer, I think that just really wouldn't work. It'd be a bit... But as it is now, this is like... If you've got your girlfriend, your wife, your other half, and they're not really into beer, this is one that you could share with them. And I think they would enjoy it. And it just shows you how sophisticated beer can be. This is a really, really nice beer. Not my cup of tea, I won't lie. But it's just got such a lovely balance to it. And this is a style of beer where certain flavours could be a little bit too overwhelming. But as it is, it's a lovely, lovely beer. And in terms of a rating, I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. I thought I'd be completely taken out my comfort zone. I thought I'd be like a mess on camera trying to describe this beer. But there's a real sense of familiarity to it. It's got that like teenage years sort of. I'm not even going to get into it. I've talked a bit too much about my experience with wine. Yeah, there's definitely a little bit floating on the top. Not sure. No, you won't see it, else it'll just pour everywhere. But that head is just so creamy and so reinforced. So what happens when we pour all of the beer in? Let's see how it changes. And yeah, it's another longer review from Clueless Drinker. If you didn't expect that by now, why you subscribed? Only joking. Wow, that's weird. It's like lovely, smooth clouds of sedimentation in there. Not too many bits and bobs, but yeah, it's just like... Oh, if I had a 4K camera and good lighting, that would be absolutely wonderful. But all you're seeing is like speckly, distorted colours in that light. But I swear to God, it's just like, you know, these, I don't know what sort of birds they are, but when they all like fly in unison, that's amazing. One more taste and I'll give it a rating. It's a little bit more fruitier now that it's all in there. That is a marvel. That is a real marvel of a beer, it really is. That's a beer that you take to a bottle share. It's a beer that you introduce people to. It's a conversation piece. This would be perfect with like something gamey, like a really rich, indulgent, meaty dinner, that sort of thing, like roast dinner, like a game pie, those sorts of things, venison. Something really nice and meaty with a nice hearty gravy, and this would just cut through that density of flavours really, really nicely. Be really interesting to cook with something like this as well. So I gave that an 8 out of 10. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10 now that now that it's all in the glass. Yeah, I like that. I really, really do. It's very slowly growing on me the more I'm drinking it, but I'm going to cut this video off here because I've waffled on for way too long. So if you've tried this one or the original version, then as always, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. If you know of any beers similar to this one, then as always, recommendations are always welcome. Check out Mikkeller. What's some of your favourite Mikkeller beers? If you want to get yourself 25% discount on a Mikkeller box, excuse me, link is down below. Jesus. That's the one thing about beers like this is I get a little bit of like, not acid reflux, but it slightly repeats on me. So be warned about that aspect. Because it is an acidic beer. Not a potent or unpalatable acidity, but it's acidic nonetheless. As you would expect in general from a beer like this. But anyway, yeah, check out Mikkeller. If anybody I know or watch on a regular basis has reviewed this one, their review will be included in the description box. And yeah, we've rounded off a really nice little series of reviews with a very interesting beer indeed. And I know there'll be people out there who will give this a 10 out of 10, and I can definitely see why. It's a very well crafted, well blended beer. The mastery in this beer is in the blending, and yeah, it's a beer that brings the best of both worlds, I suppose. Anyway, I keep adding more of these like pretentious, bullshitty phrases to this beer review. But yeah, 8.5 out of 10. Give it a try if you haven't done so already, and if you have done, give me your feedback. Thank you guys for watching. And I don't know why I'm talking in this horse racing voice. See you later.